We all know that in order to grow and get our projects done and the things that are of priority for us, that we have to get out of our comfort zones most of the time. And some of the times we come up with reasons or excuses as to why we don't want to get out of our comfort zone. I was listening to three women the other day, and they were talking about this struggle. And I want to talk about this today in the weekly Leap video. So I'm Renee Blasky of the Leap Network. So welcome. So have you really ever found yourself in that same position? And the reasons that they came up with, these three women that I was listening to, was that either they were too busy, they didn't have the time to do the project that they wanted to work on, they didn't know where to begin, or they were just too tired. I'm sure you can relate to at least one of those, and maybe even all three. I know I have done that at one point or the other in my life. But recently I was listening to Mel Robins, and she's the woman who came up with the concept of the 5-second countdown, and I use this a lot. But she used a phrase that I'm going to add to my 5-second countdown whenever I come up with this excuse that I'm either too tired, don't know where to start, or don't have enough time. Do it anyway. And I love this phrase because it breaks us out of this excuse habit. So let's break it down into the three that I've talked about. I don't have enough time. Typically speaking, when you don't have enough time to work on the project that you want to work on, that's going to make your transition or your personal fulfillment obtainable, maybe your priorities are a little bit out of alignment. So let's say your number one priority likely will be family, and that's fantastic. Maybe then your second priority is to start a new business, or to write a book, or to get a new job, or do something that gets you out of your comfort zone. Now, getting out of your comfort zone can be difficult. So our minds can automatically say to ourselves, we're going to come up with an excuse so you don't have to get out of your comfort zone because I want to keep you safe. Well, you don't find personal fulfillment by keeping in your comfort zone or playing safe. So when you have a high priority to get out of your comfort zone, you've got to spend time working on it. So you've got to make it a priority in your day. So if you get up in the morning and you take care of your family and get them on their way, and then you go to work, or you are in your home office, or you're working on something at home, don't start cleaning the house. Go in and start working on your project, and spend at least 1 hour doing that. Don't look at your emails. Don't look at Facebook and social media. Look at working on that project for 1 hour. Undisrupted, uninterrupted. It's when you focus on something that you start taking action and you start achieving and moving towards that goal of fulfillment. So look at your day. Where are you giving priority that is perhaps out of alignment what your goals are? And this is really critical for you to look at. And oftentimes we'll start off with really good intentions, and we'll do that maybe Monday and Tuesday. And by Wednesday, we're back to being distracted by something else. So have a look at your day. Now let's look at the other reason that a woman gave, was that she didn't know where to start. Again, when we're moving out of our comfort zones, we're more than likely learning new skills. And when we learn new skills, sometimes we don't even know how to do that. or we know we need to learn them, but we don't even know how to learn them. And this is where you can ask for help, or you can just begin. Take a little bit of action, okay? And I don't always, but sometimes I use the example of when you set a lofty goal. Sometimes it's so intimidating because you think, oh my God, I've got so many things to do to obtain this goal. And that's why I like to break it down into little bite-sized pieces. Because when you break it down into bite-sized pieces, it's less intimidating. And you're more likely than not to do it anyway. And I'll use the example of exercise. If you want to get healthier and you want to release some of the excess weight that you may be carrying, and this is something that I'm working on now, if I tell myself that I have to walk 10,000 steps every day, or I have to do 100 jumping jacks, or I have to do some big number, and I get up in the morning and start doing this, it's a lot more intimidating when I look at the bigger number. So I put it down into chunks and say, okay, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. And more often than not, that 10 minutes becomes 20 minutes, and the 20 minutes may become 30 minutes. Because after that 10 minutes or 5-minute section has gone, it's passed, I'm like, well, that wasn't so bad. I can do more. I'm better. I can do more. So break it down into smaller chunks of goals, tiny goals, and the tiny goals will then add up to the bigger goals. So just start. Start doing something. If you're writing a book, just start with the outline, and then do a paragraph, and then maybe another paragraph, and then another paragraph. But when you're writing a book, it's very important to start writing every single day. And again, don't say that I have to write for an hour, because that's going to intimidate you, and you may not even want to sit down and start because you're thinking, oh my God, I don't have time for an hour. Write down and sit down and say, I can do this for 5 minutes. And I bet you after at least 20 minutes, you'll say, oh wow, I just did 20 minutes. And you'll be that much closer to getting that book done. Now let's look at the last one, is I'm just plain too tired. This is part of the priority aspect as well, is where are you putting your priorities? Because if you're waiting to put your priority action at the end of the day, after you've done everything else, yeah, you're going to be too tired. And you're not going to be able to have clarity. You're not going to be able to focus. So by moving your priority action into the morning, you're going to be much more likely to be able to get it done. Now, the other trick that I know many people do, and famous people are well known for this, is that they will get up an hour earlier, or maybe even 2 hours earlier, when the household is completely quiet. And this may be 4 a.m., it may be 5 a.m., it may be 6 a.m., it depends on your living circumstances. And you get up at that time religiously. And there's no excuses. You set the alarm, and every day you get up at that time. So when you do this, there are, again, no distractions. The rest of the people in your family or household are still sleeping. You can focus on what is your priority. And it works. So when you're looking at getting out of your comfort zone, getting into that uncomfortable place, because you know that you need to get there to make that transformation that you're working on, make sure that you do it anyway. And combine it with the Mel Robins 5-second countdown. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Start doing it. So do it anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I have found that this has been very helpful to get rid of any time that I'm procrastinating think I'm too tired, think I don't have enough time, I will carve out just a few minutes just to get started. And typically, I will do more than what I had expected to do. So I hope this is helpful for you. And let me know what your tricks are to get you to take action and to put your priorities first. Love to hear from you. Until the next time, take care. Bye.